You know those quizzes you see online, the ones that tell you what kind of bread you are or which 90s sitcom character you'd be? Yeah, we've all taken them. But what if a quiz was different? What if it wasn't just for fun, but was designed to test your whole belief system, and then maybe even sell it back to you? Well, today, we're diving into a seemingly simple Roblox game that does exactly that.
So the game gets straight to the point. I mean, no messing around. The very first thing it asks you is, are you Sigma? Right away, you know this isn't your average personality test. It's a challenge, and it's framing the entire experience around this very specific corner of internet culture.
Okay, so the first part of this whole thing is the quiz itself. But forget questions about your favorite color. This is all about testing how much you align with the whole grind set or Sigma subculture. You know, this online ideology that's all about being a lone wolf, hyper-independent, and always working.
Just look at this question. It's a perfect example. You wake up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. What do? The first two options, sleeping in or relaxing, those are basically framed as the wrong answers. The right answers are all about productivity. One of them even says sleep is for betas. So yeah, the game is not exactly subtle about what it values.
So you see, this quiz isn't really just testing you. It's almost teaching you. It's built on a few core ideas, that rest is a sign of weakness, the grind is the only thing that matters, and there's this rigid social ladder with sigmas at the very top and betas way down at the bottom. It's a whole worldview, really, just packaged up in a quiz.
So you go through about 20 of these questions, proving just how dedicated you are to the grind. And what's your reward for all that effort? Well, you don't get an answer right away. No, the game makes you wait.
And it's in this waiting period that the game's true colors really start to show. You realize this isn't just about an ideology, it's also about making money.
After you finish the quiz, you get this screen. It's called the Sigma Oracle, and apparently it needs time to judge your Sigma level. Now, this isn't a loading screen. Oh no, this is a totally artificial delay, and it's there for one reason, to test your patience.
And we're not talking about a few seconds. We're talking 5 full minutes. In the online world where everything is instant, 5 minutes can feel like forever. It's a classic move, pulled straight out of the playbook for free-to-play mobile games.
And here's the really clever part. The game uses the subculture's own lingo to justify the wait, or more importantly, the option to pay to skip it. The grind set never clocks out. See what they did there? Paying to skip isn't framed as being impatient. It's framed as being the ultimate grinder. It's a pretty slick bit of psychological design.
So it puts you at a crossroads. You've got the free path, you can just wait it out, or you can do some work for the game and invite your friends. Or there's the paid path. Cough up a few Robux and get that sweet, sweet validation instantly. It's a simple choice, really. Your time or your money. Okay, so whether you waited patiently or you paid to skip the line, the Oracle eventually speaks. So after all that, what's the final judgment? Let's see what happens to someone who, didn't quite nail the grind set answers. Maybe someone who chose to sleep in on that Saturday morning.
And there it is. Wow. It is harsh, no ambiguity at all. Beta male in giant letters with skull emojis on either side. A score of 0 out of 60. There's no middle ground here. You're either in or you're out.
And the description, it really lays it on thick, calling you someone who just wants approval and can't handle pressure. But look, right underneath all that judgment is the most important part of this whole screen, that big try again button. It's an immediate invitation to jump right back into the cycle. So if we take a step back and look at the big picture, what does this little game really tell us about a much larger trend online? Well, it all comes down to a really effective player loop. This is the engine that makes the whole thing run. First, you engage with the ideology through the quiz. Next, you hit that paywall, where you have to commit either your time or your money. Then you get a negative result that kind of pokes at your ego, which of course pushes you to hit try again and start the whole thing over. It's a surprisingly effective way to gamify social status. At the end of the day, this simple Roblox game is like a perfect little case study of a much bigger thing happening online. And it leaves us with a really important question to think about. When these internet subcultures and memes get turned into products, when they get monetized like this, what's really being sold? Is it just an in-game item, or is it something more? Is it a new way of selling identity itself?